Madana-gopāla Prabhu, professionally, he is in the field of IT, and he heads the IT department in Citibank, New York. So he is, it's not that, he's only like a devotee. Even professionally, he's very way forward. And spiritually, he takes care of 5 temples under him in North America. And he's the zonal supervisor for those temples. And last but not least, he is the youngest initiating guru in ISKCON. To become an initiating guru in ISKCON is not an easy job. It's not an easy, you can say, thing to do, because you have to guide so many people. And so he's taken this responsibility, and he's, in fact, next week on Sunday, he's initiating 6 Kenyan devotees. So that means he's going to be moving from America to Kenya. And not only that, he was born in Kenya here. He was born in Kenya, and in the late 90s, or is it early 90s, he moved to America to study, and he stayed. So now he's finished his karma there. Now he's coming back to his bhakti bhumi, the place where he was started. And all this today is not possible if Her Grace Aisvarya Mataji did not open her house for us. When I was coming here, I was just thinking, look at the sacrifice Mataji does, Every week she's there to teach the students. And not only that, for the last 40 years, she has been donating, her and her family has been donating all the flowers to the temple. Thank you very much, Aisvarya Mataji, Gopal, and the whole family. We are really, on behalf of the temple, we are really grateful. We cannot express our gratitude just by words. And last but not least, the Kirtan team. What can I say about them? The Kirtan was so heartfelt, it felt like Krishna was coming to dance here. And Banke Bihari is an international Kirtanier. Him and Kamita Prabhu, just last month, they went to represent Kenya in the Indian Kirtan Mela. They were specially invited from India, to go to India and represent us. So, with all these great devotees today, let us chant one time the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll hear something short from Madana-gopāla Prabhu, and if you have any questions, we will take after. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
So, when Mansigara Mataji says anything at all, we have to listen. Anything at all. So jump, you ask how high. And in which lake. So, she's if it wasn't for Mansigara Mataji, I would be nowhere. So she's my mother, and you cannot refuse. But I'll take your permission and sing a little bit. Hare Krishna, is that okay? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, So thank you all very much for the kind welcome. It's nice to be back home. And thank Gopal Prabhu for hosting. Aisvarya Mataji being the chief host. And a very wonderful, dear friend of ours for his 35 years. So, thank you. I want you to all look at your hand. Just take a look at it. Whichever one you want. Too many questions. She's really into the questions. I leave time for questions. The question at the end. Just look at how sophisticated it is. When you move your finger, you close your fist. You can open it, turn around. Maybe there's some hairs, mostly from the men's side. There's some hairs, and there's blood flowing in the veins. And you can move your thumb. It is incredibly sophisticated what the hand can do. But if there's no life force in the body, the hand cannot move. And if there is life force, if everything the hand does, it's mystical. It is no less a miracle than something worth writing home about. I mean, if you look at the hair growth is one of the most mystical things. It just keeps happening. You shave it, you pull it out, doesn't matter. It's very frustrating for those of us trying to pluck the hair. It's never ending. But it's mystical. It's amazing. If you look at it microscopically, nobody knows how it's really happening. It's all because of life force. In the introduction to teaching of Caitanya, Lord Caitanya, Srila Prabhupada writes that the word Caitanya means life force. When life force is there, then things move. And Charitamrit means the nectar of the activities. So Chaitanya Charitamrit means the nectar of the activities of life force. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is this very mystical person whose very name means life force. Chaitanya, Chaitana comes from that. Now some of you have been going through the Bhagavad Gita journey. Yeah? Everybody has read Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna speaks of the ultimate truth of the soul in the Bhagavad Gita. He talks about the world. He talks about the path back to peace. But Aisvarya Mataji asked me, yes, can you talk about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how that connects to Bhagavad Gita? And Srila Prabhupada writes in the preface to the teaching of Lord Chaitanya that the Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna. He said, you do these things. But he didn't actually show how to do them. Like he said, do it. But to show how it's done, he comes again to walk the walk. Because in Gita, he talks the talk. So you say, yeah, you can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? Yes, I can. And when he tries to walk the walk is so sweet, he loses his mind. That's why he's called the transcendental madman. So, if the Gita is revelation, then Lord Chaitanya is that revelation brought to life. The teaching of Lord Chaitanya teaches that there is no difference between Krishna's words in the Gita and the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. Krishna says at the end, surrender unto me. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, surrender to Krishna. This is how you do it. When Krishna promises, I'll take charge of you, don't worry, right? Ma Shucha. Ma Shucha. Lord Chaitanya personally shows what it's like when Krishna takes charge. Well, what does that mean when he says, don't worry? Ma Shucha. You know the Bhagavad Gita, it's all about worries. Did you know that? The opening words of the Gita, when Krishna starts speaking, he tells Arjuna, Ashochan Anmashochastam. You're speaking words, right? You're worrying for things that are not worth worrying about. You're talking like a pandit. Shoch means to worry. Shochana. And at the end, what Krishna says? Saradharam paritechya, mam ekam sharanam vraja, ham tvam sarupabhibhyo mokshay shami, ma shucha. Same word. Don't worry. You are talking about worrying, that's the opening, and the end he says, don't worry. The whole Bhagavad Gita is about removing your worries. There's no really other point of the Bhagavad Gita. It's all about worries. Don't worry, be happy. That's the message of the Gita. But how do you do that? Chant and be happy. And now it's very important to do it in that order. You know, when you cook something, you have to do it in the right order. Chant and be happy. Not that first let me somehow be happy, then maybe I'll chant. No. You cannot find happiness without chanting. And when there's chanting, there'll be happiness. You see. So, in Lord Chaitanya, the abstract concept becomes intimate. Becomes real and intimate. Surrender becomes sweetness. See, Krishna talks about surrender, but Chaitanya talks about sweetness. See? Devotion becomes an overflowing river of compassion. And he teaches that surrender is not weakness, but it's a 6-petal flower blooming in the heart. There's 6 petals to the flower of surrender. It's not just one. That's how you know you're surrendered. We accept what is nourishing our devotion. That's one. Count. Use your hands. Of course, only 5 fingers. You can use the other. 2. Let go of what is harming devotion. Trust deeply in the divine protection. Depend fully on the divine mercy. Those two different things. Wanting nothing but Krishna's joy. And walking gently, softly, with humility. These are 6 things. We have to make progress in each one of those 6 limbs of surrender. Then we can say, okay, I'm this much percentage surrendered in each of these 6 metrics. But Krishna just spoke that. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lived them. Krishna spoke in the battlefield. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived it on the streets. Because we can say, yeah, I'm not in the battlefield. It's not relevant to me. No, Mahaprabhu did it in the streets, in the markets. What does the Gita look like when God himself practiced the Gita? That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, now, thinking back on my own experience, when I was growing up, I didn't know anything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I didn't know anything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu until I came to ISKCON. Anybody here came to ISKCON like later on in life, like they were not born into ISKCON? Everybody? I think that's most of us, except for Gopal. But before coming to ISKCON, how many of you knew Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really well? Or even knew at all about him? Not even. And even she's from West Bengal. Even Bengalis didn't know. Only after coming to ISKCON. Now, when I came to ISKCON and I saw, okay, Radha Krishna is there, then Jagannath is there, okay, Sitaram is there. So who are these, like this, brothers? These 2. And I'm thinking, how do I know who is God? How do we know? Who taught me? Who is worth worshipping and who is worth, just putting a picture? So I was thinking back and I was thinking, okay, maybe we go to some temples and you ask the pujari and they'll tell you. Or you ask the default source of all knowledge, grandma. You ask grandma. And she's drinking the chai and she'll tell you the story of Ramayana, she'll tell you Mahabharata. Or you ask your parents. Or another default source of knowledge is Amar Chitra Katha comics. Yes, that's a big one. Or Mahabharata, Ramayana TV series on the TV or movies. These are the default sources of knowledge that we actually form our worldview that if it's within this universe, then that is God. If it's not, that's not God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't come in any of those. So maybe he is not God. Isn't it? I mean, that's natural. Now, let's think about it. Why do we easily accept, those of us who come from Hindu backgrounds, Indian backgrounds, why do we easily accept Krishna and Rama? Because they're worshipped by millions of people. You go on the street, Jai Shri Ram, making all these slogans, really into it. They performed great miracles. Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, Lord Ram turned a rock into a woman, all kinds of things. That's why it's easy to accept. Great acharyas accept Krishna and Ram. Valmiki, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they accept Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, they worship them. When we sing the names of Krishna and Ram, we feel the bliss. It's undeniable. So it's easy to accept. So, another reason we can easily accept Krishna and Ram is that they are emphatically described in detail in many scriptures. Gita, Ramayana, Upanishads, Puranas, Mahabharata. These are all the reasons and more. We can easily accept Krishna and Ram because they come on schedule. Ram comes in a particular yuga, Krishna comes in a particular yuga, they come on time. But what about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? How can we accept him as God? The same exact set of criteria can be used for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All of them, every single one. Today, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped around the world by millions because of one amazing personality. His divine grace, Abhay Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed miracles. He made the lions and tigers in the forest dance in Kirtan. He showed so many times his different swarupas. He showed this universal form also. Just like, the universal form was shown to Arjuna in the battlefield. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed similar universal form. You can read all about it. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped by great acharyas. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Narottam Das Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. These are great thinkers, great writers, great devotees, and our own Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So Mahaprabhu is worshipped by great acharyas and gurus in the world. Lord Chaitanya's names give bliss to the heart just by chanting Shachinandan, Jai Shachinandan Gaur Hari, Gauranga. When you sing those names, say Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. See the smile on everyone's faces. You feel the categorically different bliss, something that you cannot taste in this world. And this is the big one. Numerous, many clear scriptural Sanskrit predictions about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now these are predictions written thousands of years before he appeared. Not in 1 or 2 places, but so many. I'll read some of them. Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangaste Pashadam. Right? Yagyai Sankirtana Prai Yajantihi Sumedas. Those who are intelligent, this is written 5,000 years ago. In the 11th canto of Bhagavatam it says, those who are intelligent in the age of Kali Yuga will worship that incarnation who is Krishna, but his color is opposite of Krishna. Krishna, golden. And he comes with his, his associates and his different weapons, of course his weapons and associates and his confidential companions. And his process is Sankirtan. Sankirtan, which is the incarnation in Kali Yuga who teaches Sankirtan. Then Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there is a very famous prayer known as Vishnu Sahasranam. Very, very famous. The 1,000 names of Vishnu. These are the authentic, original, official names of Vishnu, which describe his glories. Now, sometimes there's so many names, people don't realize, what does this name mean? There's one set of names. It says, Suvarna Varna Hemango Varangas Chandanangadi Sanyasa Krit Samashanta Nishtha Shanti Parayana. That this is the incarnation of Vishnu, Suvarna Varna, golden ink, golden color. Hemanga, molten gold, his limbs are like molten gold. And his body is smeared with sandalwood paste. And he's a sannyasi, golden colored sannyasi, who is completely he's completely full of Shanta, Shanti, and Nishtha, rigidly fixed in chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Nishtha Shanti Parayana. Who else could it be? Vishnu Sahasranam. Atharva Veda. This is Vedas. Vedas is considered like the bedrock of all scriptures. Atharva Veda says that Krishna says, I will descend on the earth after the passing of 4,000 years in Kali Yuga. Very precise. Now he's giving dates. Precise. And before the passing of 5,000. So between 4,000 and 5,000 is 4,500, which is about 500 years ago. That's when he came. You see? So time is given. And he says, I will come on the bank of Ganga. I will be a tall and saintly Brahmana devotee. I will have all the auspicious symptoms of exalted person. I will exhibit renunciation. I will be a devotee practicing bhakti yoga. I will taste the rasa of my own devotion. So how much more details do you want? He's giving you the time, the place, what it's going to look like. Like, I'm going to be tall. I'm not going to be the short one. Short one is a different incarnation. There's Vamana. He goes with, Krishna, he comes in all short ones, tall ones. He satisfies everybody's desires. Some people like tall people, some people like short people, whatever. Whatever you like, I'll be there for you. Krishna is like that. He said, this time I'm coming tall one. How much more detail do you want? Samaveda. He says, I'll come to the earth, the place by the bank of Ganga, to save the people who are devoured by the sins of Kali Yuga. I'll be manifesting as a Brahmana sannyasi. Adi Purana says, Aham eva dvija shreshthas, nityam prachanna vigraha. Dvija shrestha. Dvija means Brahmana. I'll be one of the top Brahmanas. Prachanna vigraha. I'm covered, I'm hidden. Hiding incarnation. I'm not going to show my godness to everybody. I'm going to show my devoteeness to everyone. See? It says, Bhagavad Bhakta Rupena I'll be the form of the devotee and I'll establish the religious principles. Garuda Purana is also a famous Purana. That one he says, now, Aham Purno Bhavishyami, in the future I'll come. Yuga Sandho Visheshata, when the two yugas meet, Mayapure, Navadvipe, Bhavishyami, Sachi Sutra. Now he's giving address also. City and state. Mayapur, Navadvip, and Shachi Sutta, mother's name. Address, city, state, mother's name, what he'll be doing, how tall he'll be, what color is the skin, what time he's going to come, what he'll accomplish. How much more detail do you want? You see? And then he says, I will assume a golden form. This is Garuda Purana. He says, first he will be the husband of Lakshmi. That's his first wife's name. Lakshmi Priya. And then he'll be a sannyasi who stays near Jagannath at Puri. How much more details do you want? And if that's not enough for you, there's a whole Upanishad called Caitanya Upanishad. Did you know that? There's 190 Upanishad, one of them called Caitanya Upanishad, all about Lord Chaitanya. If I start reading that one, the whole time will be finished. So, Devi Purana, Shvetashvatar Upanishad, these are the ones in addition to the ones I already quoted. Okay, these are the additional. Matsya Purana, Vamana Purana, Vayu Purana, and many more. So, there should be no doubt in anyone's mind that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and when we listen to his words, because they are meant for Kali Yuga, this age that we're stuck in, we will be successful in our practice. His words are designed for the unfortunate circumstances that we're in. It's a very tough situation. His Kali Yuga is a very nasty place. But what is the only way in Kali Yuga? The only solution is Hare Nam. Yeah, Hare is 3 times. Chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. Why? Because Kali Yuga is nasty place, nasty place, nasty. Nasty eva, nasty eva, nasty eva, gatiranyata. 3 times it's nasty. What are the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he wrote, I think, there's a book called Caitanya Matamanjusa. In that there's one verse that encapsulates all philosophy of Krishna consciousness, which is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you know this verse, you know everything that you need to know. Okay? You should know this verse. I'll sing it for you. You should memorize it. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradaro Napara. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vajesh Taneya. The worshipable Lord is Bhagavan, Krishna. Vrajesh Taneya. Not just any particular flavor of Krishna, because there are many flavors. Krishna comes in battlefield Krishna, or the Sudarshan Chakra Krishna. But he said Vrajesh Taneya. The one who's the son of the king of Vraja, Nanda Maharaj. In that, right? Tad Dhama Vrindavan. And his Dhama, his abode is Vrindavan. That is that particular Krishna who should be worshipped. And, okay, fine. Worship Krishna, no problem. How? How should he be worshipped? Whose standard should we follow? Ramya Kashidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. You follow the standard set by the gopis of Vrindavan. The highest degree of selflessness is found in the gopis. Most selfless bhaktas, we follow in their footprints, their footsteps. Mahaprabhu is saying this is how you do it. Okay, fine. But what if I have a question about philosophy? It says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. If you don't understand what is the philosophical framework to understand God, he says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. The spotless framework, the basis, foundational philosophy is Srimad Bhagavatam. Pramanam Amalam. Amalam means spotless. There's nothing wrong or nothing missing or there's nothing misleading in the Bhagavatam. You follow that. Because there are other scriptures that you could get misled very easily if you don't understand it properly. Bhagavatam, no problem. Just wholeheartedly dive into it. Now, Okay, fine, Bhagavatam. But I have been taught my whole life there are 4 Purusharthas. Purushartha means the aims of life. What are they? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma means religiosity. Artha means making money. Kama means, okay, you make money, what do you do with the money? You enjoy the money. You spend it to enjoy for yourself. And then Moksha means you spend the money, but you didn't really enjoy as much as you thought. I'm tired of all this nonsense. I want to get out of here. That's called Moksha. Religiosity means give me money. Artha means I got the money. Kama means I'm going to enjoy this money. And then Moksha means I was not that enjoyable, I need to get out of here. Is this worth pursuing? These 4 they're called goals of human life. What are useless goals? If at the end you're just frustrated, you want to get out of here, what is the whole point of that? But he says, no. Pumartha Mahan, the greatest and only goal worth pursuing is Prem. Prema Pumartha Mahan, the 5th Purushartha. That's the only worth pursuing. What is different about Prem than the others? All 4 others are selfish. Every one of them. They're selfish. Including Moksha. Moksha is not selfless. Moksha is, I want to get out of here, I'm tired of this. Prema means, what can I do for you, my Lord? If it means I have to go to hell, I will do that, but you must smile. If that makes you smile, I'll do it. That is selflessness. You cannot be selfless without having God in the picture. See? So, Prema Kumartha Mahan. And the last line, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradara Napara. This is the opinion of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. There's no other opinion. And that's all we have to know. Now, the mission of Caitanya Mahaprabhu was to spread. It says, he predicted to spread the holy name. Prithivite ate ache. Right? Prithivite ache jat nagaradi grama sarvatra prachar hoy pe mora naam. Every town and village in India, no, will have my name. Prithivite ache. All over the globe, my name will be sung. At that time, only India was singing. But he said, Prithivite ache. Now, in Chaitanya Mangal, by Lochan Das Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this. He says, Ebe nama sankirtana tiksha khadagaloya. Tikshna means very sharp sword. I will take this. Antar asura jivere phelibe katiye. The sword of congregational chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I will root out and destroy the demonic mentality in the hearts of everybody. I'll just do a surgery. Because he says, very sharp sword. Very sharp means scalpel. Otherwise, the blunt sword will do the trick. But no. Surgery means super sharp. So it says, Tikshna Khadaga. Scalpel means you surgery. You're not killing. You're doing surgery. You're saving. You're cutting out the tumor of selfishness. That's what he's doing with the holy name. But what if some people will run away from India to go to very far places? Yadi papi chhadi dharma dure deshe jai. This is Mahaprabhu's words. Listen carefully. He's saying, if you understand some Bengali or in Hindi, you'll figure it out. Yadi papi chhadi dharma dure deshe jai. Mora senapati bhakta jaibe tathai. If some sinners will decide, I don't like this dharma, it's too much Hare Krishna, it's nonsense, I'm going to a foreign country where they don't have any of that nonsense. My Senapati Bhakta, my general of my Sankirtan army will go there and save them. And he'll save all the countries where they've run away to. Prediction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So who is globally accepted as that one devotee who spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name all over the world without any doubt, without having to share it with anybody else? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada is accepted globally as the Senapati Bhakta, predicted by Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago himself. No one else has achieved so much success in spreading the holy name of the Lord. And in the beginning when he was starting out ISKCON, he was writing to his God brothers, come, we'll do it together, you help me, we'll do this, we'll be very successful, we'll open Radha Krishna temple. Nobody came to help him. Why? Krishna wanted him to get all the credit. No sharing, no, you're not going to share credit with anybody. You have to get 100% credit for spreading all over the world. In just 11, 12 years, you'll do this. And I'll make sure you do it. You see, this is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada. But it's not over, the story is not over. He has left the rest of the job to us. There's still countries where Krishna's name is not being heard. That's our problem. We have to fight for it. Not that Mahaprabhu bole action ho jabe. No. The Mahaprabhu said it will happen. No. Prabhupada was fighting. Where's my P form? I'm coming every day from passport. What's going on? He was fighting. We have to fight. What can I do to give Krishna to one other person, one other city, one other county, one other district? Then we can enter into the circle of Mahaprabhu's Lila. There's only two kinds of activities in the whole of existence. One is called karma and the other is called Lila. If you do anything for your selfish needs, selfish desires, that is called karma. And if you do something to serve the Lord selflessly, that is Lila. It's your choice. Do you want to serve selfishly and fall into this silly circle of karma and spiral downwards? Or enter the beautiful rasa dance of Lila? Many Leelas of the Lord are there. That's up to us. So, Bhagavad Gita very beautifully harmonizes with Caitanya Charitamrita. I encourage all the devotees to take up Caitanya Charitamrita reading. And if you don't read, that's fine. You can listen to lectures from Srila Prabhupada about Lord Chaitanya. And there's so much to learn, so much sweet nectar. So I strongly encourage all of you to please take it up. It's not that difficult. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all for your kind attention and your valuable time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're leaving some time for questions, I think. Yes, anybody have any comments or questions? You can have comments also. Yes, please. Yes, please. Sir. Yes, Kamita Prabhu.
So in the four goals of human life that you talked about,
Yes.
the very last one,
Moksha.
yeah, moksha. How selfish is it? It doesn't have anything. It doesn't affect everyone else in any way. If I just get out of here, no one will really. If someone thinks of me and I've gotten out of here, they're probably gonna follow me. You know, as a state, the law of karma states or the laws of nature. So how is it selfish?
Very good question.
And maybe just a comment addition. No, not addition. I can't add to what you said.
Please add.
It's there's an audio book on Spotify on Caitanya Charitamrita, very sweet, that has a very nice background music. Narrator is very, very nice, and it has everything, and it's Prabhupada's translation. So if anyone would like to sort of hear this nectar, what I do is whatever I'm doing, maybe washing clothes or just getting ready, just play it in the background. It has so much nectar, just to maybe if anyone would like to access it easier.
What's it called? How do you find it?
It's on Spotify. You don't have to pay for Spotify. You can just play
Get
it.
a free one.
It's just Caitanya Charitamrita.
On Spotify.
Yeah, on Spotify.
Okay.
It's Prabhupada,
Audio
so
book.
there's no sort of discrepancy.
No mystery. Yes. Thank you. Wonderful. Haribol. So the question is, how selfish is it to want moksha? Right? Actually, in our tradition, we don't want moksha. In fact, we say, I don't want moksha. We sing it. Have you sang? Varam deva moksha na moksha vadimva. Na chanya pridayam parishadapime. I don't want moksha. You even read the translation. Isn't it? Why you say that? I don't want moksha. All I want is, right, the chabi, the picture of Madana-gopāla. Varam deva moksha na moksha vadimva. Na chanya pridayam parishadapiha. Idam te vapurnata gopala balam. The Madana-gopāla form, if it remains in my heart, that is way better than any moksha. Because now we enter the realm of prema. Prema means focus on Gopal. You see? Not focus on my relief. There's a difference. Moksha means relief. Moksha is not a big part of our aim, actually speaking. We sing it every day. Chakhudan dilo jai. Janme janme. Oh, what janme janme? Huh? If I'm going to go for moksha, what is it janme janme? He's my Lord. Birth after birth. How is that? We are praying. Why is it birth after birth? Mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatat bhakti rahe tukitohi. I mean, we sing it every day. We don't care for moksha. And in Damodar Ashtakam we sing purposely, I don't want moksha. Moksha is not a big part of it at all. Prema is really the highest goal, because the juice you get from prema is not even found in moksha, because the motivation for moksha is relief. The motivation for prema is love, selflessness, you see, to give pleasure to the other. Now, yes, moksha is a side effect of prema, because Krishna wants to facilitate the prema to flow freely, so he will give moksha. In fact, moksha is so readily available to the practitioner of Krishna consciousness. It is said that even when you're in the second level of chanting, first level is chanting offensively, second level is you're just clearing some of the offenses. When you reach the nama bhasa, clearing stage, moksha is available to you. And prema nam means moksha becomes so insignificant, right? Now, another problem with moksha is that there's different flavors of moksha. There's one flavor of moksha called sayujya. Sayujya is the one that is where you absorb yourself into the impersonal or into the body of Krishna. There's also a category of moksha, but we don't consider that. It's impersonal liberation. And devotees consider that hell. It's hell. Prabodhanand Saraswati says, Kaivalyam narakayate tridasha pura akasha pushpayate. This Kaivalya liberation is naraka. Hell. Why? I'd rather be here in actual hell than be in that impersonal hell. It's that bad. Why? Because the seduction of being God or one with God or non-different from God is worse than maintaining your individuality and suffering here. So moksha itself, because the word has so many different meanings, it can be taken the wrong way. Now, there's a positive way of moksha too. You know, tattenu kambam susamikshama bhunjane vadma pritam vipakam. You might have heard that famous verse, prayer of Lord Brahma. He says that liberation becomes your rightful claim. Jiveta mukti pade sadaya bhakta. Mukti, that you talk about moksha. Mukti pad becomes your rightful claim. How does mukti become a rightful claim? By continue to suffering your whatever miseries because of your karma, at the same time offering pranam to Krishna with your words, with your body and your mind. If you can do that, then mukti becomes your rightful claim. This ticket is available to you. Now you have the ticket. You can claim, hey, this is my mukti. And in the Caitanya Charitamrita, the great devotees discuss this, and they said this should be called bhakti pada. I said, yeah, it's the same thing. In this context, mukti and bhakti are synonymous, you see. Because bhakti itself implies liberation is there. The liberation from the focus on the self, sense gratification, and liberation from that cycle. Then one becomes liberated even while living in the body. That is called Jivan Mukta. Have you heard of this concept, Jivan Mukta? You know that verse in the Nectar of Devotion, it describes Jivan Mukta. Iha yasya hare dasye karmana manasa gira nikhila sap vyavasthasu Jivan Mukta savachyate. The definition of being mukta, being liberated, having moksha even while being in the body is what? Iha yasya hare dasye. You are dasa, the servant of Krishna. Karmana manasa gira. Your body, your mind, your words are absorbed in Krishna. That is already mukti. Moksha is already achieved. You see. That is why actually moksha is looked down upon, because the post of bhakti is way, way higher. You see. Now, why is it selfish? The vast majority of people running after moksha are selfish. The vast majority, not all. Not all. You see. Not everybody running after money is selfish, by the way. That's also true. There are people who work very hard for money and they give it all away to help other people. They're not selfish. It's true. But the vast majority, vast majority. That's the whole point. So I give some different angles on mukti and moksha. Is that okay?
Yeah. So, how can we practically come to the point where we don't want liberation from suffering? Because practically, I would like to sort of live a less painful life. How do we
Yes.
come to that position where we don't even want to get out of the hell that
Yeah.
we're going through?
How do we get to the point where we don't even care for liberation? We don't even care for moksha. That's a very high, right? But we're aiming for it. First of all, it's good to know that there is a point like that to work toward. Otherwise, what happens? We think moksha is the highest. It turns out it is not. There's something higher than moksha. So at least knowing that is, now how do we get to that point? We get to that point by tasting the nectar of the holy name. We tasted it today, especially when you were singing. It was very sweet. All the devotees were singing. Ankivayari Prabhu, Tim Prabhu. You taste the bliss that you cannot taste anywhere else. That taste, because it's Golokya Prema Dhana Harinam Sankirtan, the loving Prema Dhan. Prema Dhan means Dhan means what? Treasure. Treasure of Goloka is Harinam Sankirtan. That's happening here. So you get one small drop. This is so nice. But then we go back to our old habits. Boring life again. So how do we get to that point? We increase the frequency of the dosage. You know, the drip, you have a drip, IV drip. One drop is not enough. You need more. So you need to do more. Of course, we won't be bothering Lila, Mataji. Okay, every day will come to your house. No, not like that. But we have to replicate this in our hearts. So now we got a nice sample here. You already tasted it. Do it in your home. And if you don't know how to do it, then learn from those who do. Associate with those who do. Association is the magic bullet of your question. How do we get to that point? You get to that point by developing the taste. How do you develop the taste? By associating with devotees. Associate means you exchange your hearts, spend time with each other, you learn the culture, you learn how they operate in the world, in the modern world, in 2025, 2026. How do they go about and still enjoy the bliss? Now, one drop at a time, and until you increase the frequency and this becomes a stream, then becomes a stream of consciousness. Then when it's flowing like that, where you can remember Krishna more spontaneously, it's not very hard to project how that works because you tasted it here. You see what I'm saying? If you cannot taste it, then it's all theory. If I sit down half an hour, describe how tasty this jar of honey is in so many words, 30-minute lecture. It's tasting like this, tasting like that. But unless you open the bottle and taste it, all those words are useless. So unless you pick up your hands and clap them and sing, all this theory is useless. But when you taste it, you don't need to describe it anymore. Of course, we discuss all this so that we have the philosophical framework to keep us going, to understand Krishna. But the ultimate thing is drinking that bottle of honey. So you keep drinking it, and it may not even taste that good beginning because you have jaundice. But it's the medicine for our ailment. So that is the solution, is to increase that and find devotees who are enjoying it so expertly. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. The rasikam, the connoisseurs, they're very expert at enjoying things. You find those devotees and you see how they're able to access that nectar. And when we become experts, then we can share with others also. So next time you can share with me how you get this. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. There's one question here. Ravi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Lord Chaitanya is the Lord of Kirtan. Where does he say you have to chant? Can't we just do Kirtan and chant?
So when you say chant, you're talking about japa.
Yes.
Yeah. Where does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say you have to do japa? If you can do kirtan, that's fine.
So I can live.
But you have to do 16 rounds on kirtan. You see, there's something to be said for quantity. Sankhya Purvaka Nam Gan, Sankhya Purvaka. See, the 6 Goswamis are glorified as they do Sankhya Purvaka. Now, Sankhya Purvaka means some minimum quantity is required for anything to work. So for you to accomplish that quantity in a short amount of time, within 24 hours, this pace of kirtan won't cut it. You do japa. Now, suppose someone says, no, quantity is not it, quality is what's important. What's the use of low quality and big quantity? What's the use of that? Quality is very important. So you just say Hare Krishna mantra 5 times, but super quality, that's good enough. It's better than doing 2 hours of, isn't it? Some people say that. In one sense, yeah. So I tell you, I got this wonderful high quality basmati rice from the foothills of the Himalayas, cooked in water from Kilimanjaro. Huh? And topped with ghee from New Zealand, the golden one, yellow one. And then you put a little bit of the tulsi on it and give you this whole big bowl full of the nice, hot, steaming rice. But only 3 grains you can eat. Only 3 grains. The quality is there, no? What is the use of quality if you won't even make it the back of your throat, it'll get stuck in your teeth. You know what I'm saying? You need a few handfuls at least. So similarly, if you want to get the effect of holy name, some quantity is required, minimum quantity. Because our absorbency is not there. Bioavailability is there, but our absorbency is not there. You see, the power is there in the holy name, but our ability to absorb into our bloodstream is not there. We need to get better at that. That's why quantity is required.
So Kirtan gives you quantity. You have very good.
No, the number of names. Per hour, it's not enough. Plus also there's another thing where you focus and you have a one-on-one relationship with Krishna. Where you have your private time with Krishna. Krishna wants that also. You know, like if you work in a company, there are meetings, everybody's there, 20 people are there, you talk, everything. Then you also have one-on-one with the boss. Both are needed. So we need our one-on-one with the boss also. So both is the quality, quantity, intensity, flavor, group chanting, single chanting. We want to throw everything we have at it because we're in a very tough spot. That's why. It's recommended and it's very strong, very powerful effect. Prabhupada says 95% of our spiritual growth will depend on this one thing of chanting a number of rounds. And if you develop taste for chanting japa, I think that's the problem actually. What's happened is the taste of chanting japa is not awakened. When the taste is awakened, you're like, why am I told only 16 rounds? Once you have the taste, then it's, before the taste, what happens? Japa is something that comes in the middle of your day, the way of your day. Once you have the taste, the day is something that comes in the middle of your japa. You have the taste, you can't stop doing japa. When you're in love with somebody, you don't need to regiment, okay, now 8:30 I must start thinking of the person I love, 8:30 to 8:45 I'll think, then I'll do something else, then again I'll think of my beloved. No, you can't stop thinking of the beloved. You try to stop, nothing can distract you from it because love is there. When love is there, then you'll not ask this question. Yes.
How does one self-assess the quality? I've done a quality round today.
Yes.
I haven't done.
Yeah.
It's a self-audit.
Yes, there's a litmus test, the test that you can do. In the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a section that teaches us how to do this. It says, Bhakti Paresh Anubhava Virakti. You know that verse, yeah? That how do you know the effect of my bhakti practice? How do I measure it? I mean, I've been told this is going to happen, that's going to happen. How do I know? Paresh Anubhava Virakti. 2 things are in Sanskrit. Paresh means Krishna. Anubhav. You feel Krishna's presence in your life. You appreciate Krishna's hand in your life. When you turn back and look at your whole life, you see Krishna has done so many things for you. Not now, what he has done in the past. And you cry tears of gratitude for those things. Why are you crying now? Because you see Krishna's hand in your life. So the degree you start seeing that, you know my bhakti is working. But one, Parishanubhava. And you see Krishna's hand in your life today. You experience Krishna with you. You feel it. Undeniable. You see, when someone is eating after they're hungry, you don't need to tell them, okay, now you're not hungry anymore. The guy will know. Second, virakti. Parishanubhava virakti. You will be detached from things that are weighing you down. Especially selfish attitudes. You'll keep them up. They'll fall off. Bad habits. Poor way of dealing with people. anger, greed, those things. They fall off like ice cream cones falling off the cone. It's like they start falling off. You're not attached to them anymore. So these are things you will see. That's how you measure the success of your work. Now it will be different degrees, but you will feel it. I know you have felt it because you're nodding your head. You feel it. You feel it.
No, I'm
Different
nodding, it
degrees.
hasn't worked so
Yes.
far.
You see, Mahaprabhu said, I'll tell you, what Mahaprabhu said? He says, Premera Savao Jaha Premera Sambandha, Krishna Nahi Mora, Nahi Prema Gandha. That one who has prema, his swabhav is, I have not even a gandha, even a scent of prema. Those are a little bit only, they'll say, oh yeah, I have loved God so much. There's a poor guy who tries to show his wealth. The rich people say, it's a very bad year, no money. But he has, tens of millions. Rich people always pretend they're poor, and poor people pretend they're rich. Hare Krishna. Alright. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Madana-gopāla Prabhu ki jai. And just to add to that, Ravi Bhai, if you ever go to Jagannath Puri, you can go and see where Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Gambhira for 22 years. His chanting beads are still there. So he himself used to chant. It's not that he only used to do kirtan. Even his chanting beads are still there. So we heard about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we also saw about the connection between the Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we learned that if you want to become closer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have to chant the holy name, because this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. So thank you very much. Let us thank Madana-gopāla Prabhu by chanting everybody loudly.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So before we end, we're going to have Nashinga prayer, and then we'll have Prashad. And after Prashad, before on the way out, there is going to be a farm tour. So whoever wants to go and see the flowers, the flower farm, you can follow Gopal, and Gopal will show you around. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Narasimhaya.